Hello and welcome to
Dragons,
Unicorns,
and Other Creative Creatures.
I'm Rona Gofstein.
And I'm Dr. Kevin.
And we're here this week to talk to you, to pick up kind of sort of where we left off on an earlier show. It's not a part one, part two.
Yes.
But we're here to talk to you about the art that I found while I was on the islands.
Yeah, I mean, it's so great to know that it's just, I love that it's living, it's breathing, it's happening, it's everywhere.
Yep.
It needs to be more. I mean, we both agree on that, and we've talked about that, but it's wonderful when you run into art somewhere like that. Especially you weren't expecting it.
No. I mean, and one of the things is to catch up for those of you who did not see the first show. We did I did Carnival.
Yes.
Mostly it was Carnival, and Carnival as an art form, because I was on my honeymoon. Jeff and I were in Curaçao. We just happened to go the week the Carnival was there.
Yeah, that certainly wasn't intended as far as...
Yep. And there was so much art everywhere. And in fact, I'm not even sure that we got all the pictures to the studio that I wanted to get to show things, different things that were going on. But it was so alive, so vibrant, and filled with color everywhere. So I did get a chance to interview, and I'm going to actually start with that.
Oh,
I'm going to give you a little history. We're going to watch the video, and then we'll talk about it. But, well, you know, everybody is so friendly. I mean, and they just took friendliness to a new level. And I say that, and it's very interesting, because I think I mentioned on the last show that when we left, we literally got gifts when we left from some of the staff.
Yep.
And so one of the things was I realized that because me being me, I just always look to make connections. So, you know, so I'm saying, then I'm asking real questions, and I'm really interested and really curious.
Which builds connection. I mean, people love being able to talk about what they're passionate about.
Absolutely. So one of the things that I did is, in my conversations, it came out that I had this show called
Dragons,
Unicorns,
and Other Creative Creatures.
Imagine that. And
Subtitle.
So anyways, and somebody knew this artist who is an internationally award-winning artist named Hubert. It's spelled Hubert, but it's pronounced Hubert.
Okay.
Well, that's what they call him, Hubert. They actually had a traffic circle, and one of the things he came to my attention, because we were driving, we were taking a tour out to the beaches. We went to this traffic circle, and a huge archway that's in a traffic circle that's clearly made out of recycled materials. And then there was an iguana, a big silver iguana that was also looked to me like it was made out of recycled stuff, you know. And I asked the bus driver about it, and they talked about Hubie, and in fact, that traffic circle was named after him.
Oh, that's nice.
And he's won, he got a recommendation from the Queen of the Netherlands, and he's traveled and he's done international shows and won awards. And turned out that somebody that I was talking to that was doing tours and stuff like this knew him, contacted him. I got an invitation, and we're going to be watching right now. Now, I did not get this invitation until I was already in motion.
Oh, well, that's cool.
So Jeff and I had gone to the Hato Caves, which I think I talked about last time.
A bit, yep.
And so Jeff and I were at we're going to the Hato Caves, and this person said, if you want to meet Hubie, we can go this afternoon, and he'll give us a private showing of his gallery.
Aww.
So you're going to see me in my ultimate
resort wear?
beach resort wear, running around. And it's all filmed, so we're not going to blame the studio for this. It was filmed on my iPhone, because that's what we had. But we're going to go ahead and show this clip, and then we're going to talk about it. This is a few-minute clip here. We did a couple of different clips. I'm hoping that they have all of them, but they may only have the one. I'm not sure if whether it got together, because we kind of stopped and started. But whatever we got was perfect.
It'll work. Always does.
Go ahead. So, your name, first of all, so I can...
Hubert, Kirindongo, Hubert. They call me UB.
UB, okay.
UB, you will be, you're gonna be, someday, somewhere, someplace. So it's easy for you to remember that, UB. Then my name is Hubert. That's my religion.
And so you've been doing this for 33 years, you said?
In this spot. There was a house and everything. There was nothing here. There was a bush. All these houses you see here, this whole village is being built by ourselves. Self-made, all these things self-built. And yeah, before that I used to be a painter. I started as a painter, I become a sculptor. Because everybody paints, but there's not so much lack of sculpture. So I fit in this how you call it, this discipline. Everybody paint, everybody does ceramic. But I choose this because with this you can make monumental work.
Yes, big work. Yeah. Now, do you still do any painting at all?
I just started again because I'm actually, you know, my style is using discarded material, reuse, recycle, and my style of work is I work in series. With series, I mean 20 for a sole exhibition.
Okay.
And if it is more than 20, it's okay. But at least 20 pieces. If I started with tire, for example, that's a rubber. That's another type of material. And the other, maybe while I'm working, I'm busy with that material. I'm busy thinking which material I'm going to use after this one to surprise myself and to surprise my client. And it's got to be something new, something else. Otherwise, it's one more of the same.
So you create your art for yourself.
I'm self-taught.
But I mean, you really create it for you as an expression of you.
Yeah, because I can do nothing better.
That's a good one.
You know?
Well, I think that this is pretty good. I don't think you have to worry about doing much better. And I love the fact that it's all recycled. So it's stuff that people would have just thrown away or would be sitting in a land pit somewhere.
And that's the surprise effect, yes. That's the surprise effect. And people, they are surprised if they see the thing that I have thrown away and I have bring it back into circulation.
What is the most, what piece surprised you the most that's here?
Surprise?
Yeah, that surprised you the most, that you just had no idea that it was going to be what it was until it showed up.
Yeah. Actually, I'm in here, which make me more. Yeah, they are interested. They are the same energy and I'm made by myself. So, surprise? What should surprise me? No, nothing surprises me anymore. It surprises other people.
Nothing surprises you anymore.
You know, other people as well say, oh shit, oh wow. But for me, it's normal. It's not a big thing here.
Now,
and actually it comes by himself. Doing, as long as you start doing it rolls out for himself. And I don't fight with the material, I let the material guide me. I go with the flow, go with it. That's what it is. Okay, this one is what which people ask me the most of what it means.
okay.
And this is my personal story. You see the doll in there.
Yeah, I see the baby in the...
It's choking.
Yes.
That's how I born. I born actually scientific dad. What do you call it? Clinic. clinically dead. And after a while, I choose to come to this world. I could stay, I could come, because I was strangled around my neck. And surprisingly, I survived. I came to this in this world.
You decided to stay.
I decided to come to this world, to see the light, open my eyes, and to start breathing anyway. And it's been continuing, because I need a lot of adrenaline to come to the world, to the birth, so my mother can have a birth. And that took me a lot of adrenaline, and that's I stay, because it's also it's a nervous world. I have fun in it, and it was mentioned to become like this, to make something like this. And I want something that in plenty time. You can see that it took a lot of hours.
Yeah, absolutely. So, at any point in your journey, did you wonder if you made the wrong decision by coming in?
Yeah, actually, I don't. I'm glad because I haven't come for nothing. At least while I'm here, I'm doing things that my legacy will stay behind.
Absolutely. Your
See,
legacy.
I have made enough, and I've done so many things that I'm sure that some will stay on this earth. They don't vanish.
No.
And I'm actually had an accident. My house has burned down once. And when I started at the beginning of my career, my house has burned down. And at that time, I lost 64 painting. And that was the moment that I started painting less and less and less, because this one has more they accepted Rome directly, so it wasn't difficult to accept it. People accept it directly because maybe because of the color of the material is the same, like after gold is silver.
Yeah. Well, this island is known to like its bling. That's what I'm told.
Yeah, it's bling.
There was certainly plenty of it at Carnival.
Yeah, no,
So, are there any of your paintings you can see?
yeah, inside.
Okay.
Things like that. For example, it's an idea here. This is my own composition. The composition from existing material.
Okay.
Long after I made this, somebody told me this is a turbo. They know this is a turbo.
Okay.
This is a turbo.
Turbo. Okay.
Both. So two turbos, two turbos. Don't ask me which one. This one on my guess is from a Caterpillar or something like that. This is a here the sheet. This is a unisex. It's a sheet. This is a yin.
It's a yin and yang.
Yeah.
There you go.
Since it's a three-dimensional, you need the back to done something with the back.
Look at
This
that.
is the front, and this is the back, or this is the front, and the other one is the back. It depends.
That's great.
Also, I made a couple of this one, this material. This is the sea coral.
Oh, nice.
And so I made a couple of this bigger, even bigger. I make a hole in here, and I mount the other one also, so I can make the pyramid with this material. It's easy to worship because it's the pipes, the empty pipes with microbes. You can work it with a kitchen knife. Soft.
Oh, nice.
Soft, very soft. So this is a rest from a series of tires. I made a lot of things with tires. This is abstraction. This is not necessarily something you have seen before.
Now, it makes me think of a dinosaur egg for some reason. Like
Okay,
that's a
okay.
dinosaur coming out of it.
Yeah, your fantasy is based on those. I got the you see the horse, one horn, that's what you call it?
Unicorn.
Unicorn, things like that you mentioned, so.
Yeah.
Of course. There's cement, just house-built cement, sand, water.
Solid.
Before, it used to be more covered with paint chips.
Okay.
Very seriously. With the sun won't have the piece. So after a few years, I have made all white with just understand they were all paint chips, mixing paint chips, all color together. So maybe inside I can show you. I still have one more left in that state. This one all was this imitation of granite.
Okay.
Yeah, those are tiles,
Okay.
normal tiles, and this is my contribution, cement.
Nice.
This one I'm recycling, I'm destroying it. Cut it off because it's oh, the other element, the one the big one. You know?
Yep.
It was supposed to be over there. It used to be that. I don't know. Easy to. That's a tall one. The other one is over there. It's up. Okay. And then I go this side. Later. I'll show you. I have more things to show you. There's no
Multi-purpose.
Yeah, there's no.
Multi-purpose. I love this. Almost like a schizophrenic face or something.
Yeah, this is the careless spaces. Careless spaces. It used to be gas explode. It comes like that.
Yeah.
Because of some explosion.
That one looks like it's going explosion. Nice. Okay.
Those are
So-
incredible. It's, I mean, yes, obviously no two are going to be even, the same just because of all the different materials, but these are so eclectically different, though, from small to
Yep.
very large.
Now, I believe this is us. Is this? Can we continue to play this? This is us going inside now.
Oh shit, the door is open yet. I'm gonna close the door.
So here's inside the gallery that he has at his house. I'm assuming this is meant to be him.
This is the tribute to, what do you call it, Botero. This is the same as the, you know Botero? The Colombian.
The Colombian is
Sculpture?
used for the fat woman sculpture. Botero.
Oh, okay.
It's very famous in
Botero.
the
I was gonna say, it definitely looks like the goddess of some kind, the goddess energy.
They always make fat women.
Yes.
It's very famous with it. Botero.
Yeah. Look at this over here, lifting its face to, lifting her face to the sun and
Yeah.
looking like she's dancing.
That's cool.
Yeah. And you can see some of the art on the walls up there. Nice.
It's one Colombian icon. Everything he made is fat. Even the dogs, the dolls they carry, all they are fat.
Okay.
It's a Botero. From,
Oh, like bodacious in American. Like bodacious is
Yeah.
very curvy, very full.
okay.
But
Yeah.
his name is Botero.
Botero.
Yes.
Oh, Luis Botero. Oh, interesting.
From Colombia.
Colombia. So,
here. This is the book I was telling you about. And then in here, this is UB, it's green dome. Yes. But in here you find my name and everything. I started here with the date, so this was a mistake. Anyway, it started like this, and yeah, 4 works, and then again and again and again, and so on. There you find all the works I had made in the long room. This is just all of it. So.
Interesting. And you can get this book anywhere? You can buy it somewhere, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope I have it English.
It's in Dutch. They come in German.
It's in
If
Dutch.
he doesn't have it, I'll get you tomorrow at the art gallery where they also sell it.
That's quite the snazzy dresser there.
Maybe that is interesting. If you like art, I'll take you tomorrow, if you have time, to the plantation home, which has also different art and paintings of different local. And there they sell the books. What tiene mo bene?
Look at me.
May tabay ng
Elephant.
lumok ko niya, magpapaan. Lumok ko sa ulo niya, ibabay ko na mayamay ko rin.
Tinggi bij mensen bij toe, maar in terre van die mensen hebben ook niet doen met cobra. Die zijn ook waar en die dingen. Die kunnen ons dingen in de zin gewoon.
Mi sabe se mi deve ora mi dai fuoco di una.
Ah, dingen ja, die praktijk.
Allora ti comienzo di andare lì, a lumok.
En dan doen maar. Ja, die papier, die wat, die papier.
So now, who's up in the picture there?
That's it.
Queen,
Prince of
king.
Greek. The old queen and that's the new prince.
King.
King, yes.
Yeah.
So there's the joys of taping live on your iPhone, because you weren't planning on taping. You were on your
No,
honeymoon.
You know, exactly. Well, that's the way things. I'm sorry. I'm sort of like stunned. Just the range. You know, It's not like he just looks for metal or just looks for tires or just for anything. It's just.
Yep. Well, he said his motto was, "Your trash is my cash," which I loved. And we've had recycled artists before.
Oh, yes,
we had
absolutely.
Bruce.
Yep.
On Bruce Wood.
Yep. And the gentleman from Hardship Rock also did that work.
Yep.
Some of that.
But this is definitely takes it to a whole new level. I mean,
my gosh.
Again, there was huge pieces. He had a like the old-fashioned windmill thing, and you walk in to the gate of his house, and I took some pictures, but I didn't get them transferred correctly or whatever. They're not here, but you look at it and you feel like you have stepped into like the world of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory or something. I mean, it's just
wondrous and.
but the color. He has a windmill and he has stuff on the sides of his walls, and his gate is part of his gate and his fencing is made out of the plastic things that they carry bread in.
Oh, okay.
You know, like the bread tray or
Yeah.
you see supermarkets. I mean, like this man.
Oh, the things that stack.
Yeah. I mean, this band just creates all of this stuff. Funny. As you could tell, he actually brought me into his studio and showed me some of the stuff.
Wow.
But we didn't. The third one didn't get transferred over. Part of if I'm going to do anything more with the iPhones, I think I'm going to have to get a mic, one of those mics that
Yeah,
connect to
probably
my
a little
phone.
something.
Yeah, but anyways, we heard most of it. So, but the pieces were
Important is just to see it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's wonderful to hear the artist speak, of course, because that's what we're all about here. But to see the incredible range, I mean, that's years. That's a lifetime of work. As he said, it's he's here, and this is what he's going to leave behind. And his arrival was precarious.
Yes.
You saw him talk about his the challenging birth.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, if it wasn't clear, I know you picked it up, but I
Yeah.
don't know how well the sound's going to be on the TV. That sculpture of the with the metal sculpture with the ball was actually a representation of him in the womb, because he almost died when he was born because he had the cord wrapped around him,
Yeah.
and his decision to stay or not. And you couldn't really in the picture see, but if you were there, you would have seen a doll with a cord.
Cord. Wow. That's very intense
Yeah.
to sort of portray that, that moment that we supposedly don't remember. And as he said, the decision to
Just
stay.
to stay. One of the things I think that also is, his house is just a piece of art. His gallery is a piece of art. And just like in an artist studio, it's cluttered all over the place, junk pieces, all sorts of stuff he works with. He works in so many different mediums. It looks like this explosion of an art store and a junkyard. A junkyard and an art store had a baby.
And
this
it's
is
Hubert.
And it's Hubert. And this is
And his
stuff.
work. That's great.
But think about, here you are early on trying to make a name of yourself as an artist. This is your calling. This is what you want to do. And you get this house and it burns down.
He said 64
64 paintings.
were lost in fire. Yeah, that's enough to make you turn to a different medium right away.
And he picked himself up and he brushed himself off and he just kept going. And he did.
And found something new to create with.
Yep.
Something, I shouldn't say, well, new, yes, and also more, because he's gone back to painting. And
Yeah.
we saw some of those.
Yep. We saw a little bit of the painting he does. Everything he does definitely has a look or an image. There's a dynamism in it, whatever it is. And you can see Curaçao itself, because it was owned by 2 or 3 different cultures, and now
Right, you said it's like, what, 5 languages spoken?
there's, you learn 4 languages
Okay, that was
in
it.
school. Palmento, which is the language that has kind of been brought in from everywhere else. Spanish, English, and Dutch, because it's been Dutch longer than it was anything else.
Right. You said the Menges and Queen of the Netherlands.
So all of this came together, but there are over 40 different nationalities
Okay.
that hang out on the island. It welcomes, and they say that there's, like all of the major, there's Buddhists, there's Muslims, there's Christians. It's 80% Catholic still, but the other 20%, and they say no one ever fights about anything. The religious people all work together.
Oh, that's
They
nice.
come together to celebrate and support and help the community
We should
and
take a
party.
lesson.
Yep. And it was a big thing. I don't know if I mentioned this, but it was also a big Jewish settlement. Did I mention that
I
last
don't
show?
know. I don't think so.
When the Jewish people were being prosecuted during the Spanish Inquisition, they went into Northern Europe to try to get as far away from the sins of the church as they could.
Yeah.
And they found that the Netherlands had this island, and they said,
That's far enough away.
yep. And they said, can we go settle it? So they have the oldest still functioning synagogue on the Western Hemisphere.
Wow, that's very cool.
They had a Jewish museum, which we went to see, and it was closed on Saturdays.
Good figure. Wonder why.
It's only open Monday through Friday. Well, probably because it's a tourist town. People are usually there Monday through. If
Yeah,
you're there,
I
you're
mean,
there.
but
And
still.
cruise ships come in on odd days. So, but there's a whole section of town, and there's a whole history.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole very strong history. And they created, wait for it, they created money for Curaçao. What the actual money, they are the creators of all the original banking system. The original banks in all of Curaçao and all of that stuff.
It was one of the few professions open to us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's where we end up.
It's actually a very interesting place, and you can see even that it's very much an interweave part of the history.
That's nice. That's very cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was Hubert. Again, we're going to make sure that his contact information, that book he showed us was a book that was done on him.
That's awesome. And you said it was in Dutch, actually. Was it? Or
It's been published in 4 languages,
Oh, well, there
so
you
you
go.
can
Back
get
to
it
that
in
again.
English.
Yahoo.
The back conversation was I was going to get a copy of his, he was going to give me a copy of his
Mm-hmm.
book, but the only ones he had in stock was the ones that were written in Dutch.
In Dutch, got it.
So she was going to take me to go get one that was done in English at the bookstore. We went to 3 different bookstores and they were sold, and all 3 of them were sold out.
Well,
of them.
there you go. UB continues his popularity.
Yep, he does. He's shown all over the world. Very interesting man. So one of the other things that we found out when we went to Curaçao, and we're going to watch another interview. This is much briefer, and it's much closer, much better off, is that there was a shop.
Less wind.
And it was one of those places, and I think I maybe mentioned this on the other show, but I can't remember, was that this only has local artists.
Yes. You
Everything
referred
is
to it.
made here
I love that.
that we're going to see.
I don't want to travel and buy stuff from China.
Yep.
Not unless I'm in China.
And a lot of the stuff that you find there, 95% of the stuff you find there was made either in India, China, Thailand, someplace.
Right.
But this is all about promoting and supporting local artists. This is a couple that moved over here from the Netherlands. Mm-hmm. They've been together for like 17 years or something. Aww. And when they came to the island, they wanted to do this. Can we go ahead and roll this interview? Started. Hi, you are,
I'm Ethan. I'm Patrick.
and you have created the shop in Curaçao called The Goods.
Exactly.
Tell me the history of why you did this.
Well, we like to help the young professionals on the island, and we like also to promote the products that made here on Curaçao and show people that we can make also nice things here on Curaçao. Exactly.
So I'm not going to find any made in India tags, made in China, made
No.
in Thailand.
And Korea, no,
No.
none of the above.
So everything here is local. You want to just take a visual of the shop for a second, Jeff? Show some of the stuff on the walls? Yes. To my audience, I'm putting my husband to work on his honeymoon. I will pay the price for this.
You sure will.
I promised him no work, and this is the second time I've asked him to videotape stuff. So when you come back, when you go ahead and come back here. So where are you located? If people are in Curaçao, how do they find you?
It's really easy. The street name in Dutch is Brede Straat, but in English you will say Broadway.
Yes.
So it's
a
the
very
main
popular
street in Puna, in Willemstad. It's from the floating bridge till the Wilhelmina Square. And on that road you can find us in front of the Komersplein.
But you can even make it easier. Just tag us on Facebook and you can see it on the roads.
Yeah.
Okay.
How to get here.
Well, we're going to have their website underneath this little interview, as well as your Facebook and whatever else. And thank you so much. And Dr. Kevin signing out from Curaçao and his honeymoon, who's
Ciao,
not
ciao.
working. Before we went on the honeymoon, I mean, we're packing and stuff like this, and he said to me, he goes, "You're not bringing your laptop." And I said, "I haven't gone anywhere since I've owned a laptop."
Without it.
Without it, I mean, I said, I got my first laptop was a Tandy from Radio Shack in '92 or '93. I think it was the first year whatever the first year they had a laptop.
That's it.
Early innovator.
Early adopter.
Early adopter. Yep, I was there, and he was, and I said, "I do other things than work on my laptop." And he goes, "But you won't be tempted. This is our honeymoon. No laptop." And I went,
After
okay.
the vapors passed.
I have to say,
Vapors.
I did briefly think that I could sneak it in somewhere, that he wouldn't find it,
Because
whatever.
as if he wouldn't see you using it too at some
Well,
point.
I mean, it wasn't like we were attached at the hip the whole honeymoon.
I realize that, but yeah.
So we would have had some little time where,
could have snuck in
I could have just
But if
gone
you
in.
said you're not going to, you shouldn't, so.
Bringing the laptop was far less important than committing to my honeymoon, my marriage, my
There are your
husband.
priorities.
That was my priorities.
Absolutely.
So one of the other things that I loved about Curaçao was there was just art everywhere. And it was in all different forms. Everything from every Thursday night, they do this thing, and I'm blanking on what they call it, but it's a regular thing on Thursday night if you're ever in Curaçao, where they have,
You're in the Curaçao this Thursday.
yeah, where there are street dancers. They danced at our hotel. They danced in traditional colonial type clothing and did a certain kind of dance, and it's a performance dance. So they went from the hotel we were staying at. We were staying at the Renaissance Casino and Resort Hotel. And they danced there. Then they went down the street. They go over the pontoon bridge,
Oh,
which
you
I
mentioned
loved,
that, yep.
with all the colors. And then they had 3 or 4 different streets that had different parties going on with different bands playing, different singers.
Oh my God,
just
it's like
lined up.
Carnival all the time.
And they do this every Thursday. Vibe, Puna Vibe. That's what it was called, Puna Vibe.
I love it.
And so here you go, and every Thursday night, and you have vendors there, some local vendors, just like in the goods. You have local vendors
Right.
that have stuff that they made. They're set up. The restaurants and bars are open. You can be sitting outside.
And art comes to you.
Art comes to you. I got dragged up to the street dancers. I held on to. I said, "No, don't let them take me. I'm too shy. I'm too shy." But they pulled, so I went.
Didn't we discuss recently your ability to like sing sober sitting on a piano?
So I'm going to
Ladies
show
and
some.
gentlemen, my co-host.
Yeah. So we're going to show some pictures here.
Oh,
I'm going to
good.
kind of
Some
talk
slides.
through the pictures
All
where we
right.
have them. So this is another artist. I didn't get to meet him, but he has a shop. This is right on in Williamstead, which is the capital. Right in the you go down, you can walk through it. This is where all that Puna vibe and things happen. And that was just a big sign showing some of his art and him working.
I love it. It's like the cover of a John Lennon album from the image.
Yeah, it actually does. And you get down a little alley, but there are like 3 different shops of artists in this alley. Not just him. You go down there because he's got this big thing and he's at the
Right,
end.
and then you
got-
discover.
Yep. Can we have the next picture, please?
Ooh,
So this is some of the stuff that was in some of those shops. And again, this is all local artists, representations.
the local
Yep,
fauna.
yep. Go ahead.
Ooh. Oh, that's your kind of art, the kind that you can just go, today I'm going to turn it this way.
Yeah. And it's got the whole spiral thing going in the
And then
middle.
the brush strokes, I like those.
And you can see other little pieces of
Yep,
stuff.
the hibiscus on the side there. And then another one that's also the brushes. But I love it because the one we're looking at here, we're looking at lengthwise with the spiral in the center. But clearly the one right behind it is a similar style, the brush strokes up and down. And that one being horizontal looks completely different. Now it looks like a landscape, or it looks like a reflection in a pond or something. So yeah, I do. I really like those. And I love the colors because those are my colors. In case you viewers haven't.
Next picture, please.
Aww.
And that was again, these are just different things that I saw like hanging on the
Yeah,
walls.
I can't
stuff
tell
like-
the material. It's shiny. So is it what? Is it metal? Like a spray, almost like a painted metal, or?
No, I think it's a painted plaster.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah. And next.
Click. Ooh. Okay, that one's really cool because you have the flower in the vase, but the other ones that are out look a little alive
Yep.
because they're not attached to anything, and either they're escaping or they're coming to go help the poor guy in the vase. So he can escape.
Yeah, they're kind of, I looked at them and I thought, what I thought was, this is like, these flowers are dancing. They're performing for the other flowers.
Oh, I love that. Yes.
Yeah, you know, almost picture like, okay, so this is the mama or dada flower, and here are the little kitty flowers. and
Mommy,
they're
look what I
dancing.
can do.
Look what I can do.
It's very Fantasia-esque.
Yes, yes, very much so. Next picture.
Ooh.
Again,
I'm loving it. Like you gotta remember, guys. Dr. Kevin has seen these. I have not. So this is all sort of.
I'll let you call for the next picture when you finish commenting on it then, in case I'm moving these too fast
No,
for you.
no, it's fine. I like the heart. Actually, it's funny because I saw the heart first, and now that I look at it though, it's got almost like a spider thing going. Mm-hmm. With this little 8, it's got 4 on each side, so we got 8 legs, and my friends who really, really hate spiders will not like that. And then is that a bottle next to it with something
Yep,
that's been either attached or blown onto it? That's very cool.
yep.
I like it. And then it's interesting. Ooh, more color. I love these bright colors. This reminds me of some of the stuff you showed from the Carnival
Yeah.
parades. Just these, it is the living embodiment of a riot of colors. but I love the expression on some of these fish.
I was
Oh
gonna
my
s-
God, they're killing me. Oh my God, they're
The-
so lovely.
The one up in the right-hand side, upright. Mm-hmm. All I can
The
think
yellow
of
face
is like,
and the big grin.
yeah, the big grin, and it's kind of like, so do you come here often? That just so looks like a
Didn't I
fish.
see you at the bowl the other day?
Yes.
And the second one down on the left too, which he almost looks like he has goggles on or something. He kind
Yep.
of looks a little too cool for school.
And then we got the crab.
I love them. They're just such, I love the color. It's so bright.
You would love this island.
I would.
You would.
Well, first of all, you mentioned all the bling, so you know
Yeah.
that they had me at bling. There's no two ways about it.
Can we have another one?
Another.
Now look at that.
Gosh, well, it's funny. You had said, you know, we've talked on other shows about body art, and you said, you know, whether it's, you know, it's your body or a mannequin, or you know, you're a human mannequin. Well, this actually is a mannequin art mannequin, whatever. I love it. Do you know what it says? Does it say way of
art. It's the way of art. They had, this one's clearly a mannequin. I don't know that we have the picture of the one. There's another one that doesn't look like a mannequin. It looks more like they talked about the Baudet, which I associated with bodacious.
Audacious, because they were very curvy.
Yeah, but
At least
the
in the images you were showing.
there was a full size, and I don't think that picture made it up. But do we have another picture? Or is
Nope.
that it? That's
Okay,
it.
that's
Okay.
it.
So that's the way of art. But they had some other pictures, and they had, you know, they'd be like 5 feet, and it was on that style of art. But you would go, and again, you would go down an alley, or you would go into this little place and paint it. And now we're starting to see more of that here. You can
A
see
little
that-
bit. I mean, there's certainly some of the smaller, I don't want to say tourist towns, but you know, up in the Rockport and Gloucester area, there's definitely areas with the galleries and artists and stuff like that. Certainly parts of the Cape and Martha's Vineyard and those areas. And then there are certain towns that do it. Haverhill, for example, which was known as a shoe town, has these giant shoes all over town that are painted in funky ways. Some look quilted and some look comic book and things.
Well, they have the art. They have the alleyways too, because remember, I had a shop in Haverhill for years.
That's right.
And they have the alleyways that you'd walk through, and they have the thing that kind of looks. They had a theme in the alleyways in Haverhill, which was a kind of looked like almost the '40s noir type stuff.
Gotta
and
love
things
it.
like- yeah, but
See, now
this-
Lowell, we do have sculptures in various parts of downtown, mostly acknowledging Lowell as the industrial city that it was. I mean, yes, it was very creative. It was the textile industry, but it's usually an homage to that. Although the motto is art is the handmaiden of work, I think, or of life or something. I have to look that up because it's actually very good. But of course, we have all the studios, not just Western Avenue, which we've discussed several times here, but there's Mill Number 5, and there's a couple of them. So Lowell doesn't have it, unfortunately, quite as much as you're not going to turn a corner. But there are these wonderful enclaves of it, which is great, and you don't always think of that.
Well, for those who are visual, that like the arts, that like bright and vibrant and colorful and fabulous food and warm air and, you know,
And rum.
and lots of music and a lot of blending of cultures like we saw in Carnival.
Yeah.
Some of it was there was some very Indian, there was some very Spanish,
Yeah,
there was
very-
some, you know, I mean, it was,
You name it.
you name it, it was there. So that's our show on the arts and artists of Curaçao. I still have video clips we haven't seen. I still have pictures that.
We're just going to put those somewhere in an archive for you all to come visit, so that you'll have this when you're planning your escape from the cold New England. Oh my God, it's going to snow here again soon. Sorry, I had to put that in
We
there.
want to thank you once again for joining us on
Dragons
Unicorns
and other creative creatures.
like you. Namaste.